We've kind of been taught to set SMART goals. And on paper, like that sounds great, right? But SMART goals just kind of assume that you'll magically become more consistent or more disciplined or more regulated or more motivated or whatever it is because you wrote that down. To me, that's what manifesting is. It's not just like putting 100K followers on a vision board and then not taking any action, because
And
that's
not
what I
looking at
think.
the vision board again for freaking 6 months, being like, oh, fuck, I didn't hit that.
I will admit I haven't even thought about my goals. I was like, hey, I gotta get my goals. And I'm just like, I feel very frazzled. So do you think it would be valuable for me to kind of like, with you guys as my coach, walk through what my goals should be?
Yeah, that's so
okay.
fun.
Hey team, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of The Wellness Effect. And Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And right on cue, on perfect timing, we have planned a goal setting podcast for you guys today. But we're super excited just to kind of share what we've learned through the years. You guys may or may not know this, but I'm kind of a goal setting master at this point in my career. I've got a pretty good track record. So I really took some time last night to just really think about my goal setting strategy and why it does work so well. So we're going to dive all into that. And I think you guys should stick around because you may or may not know this, but 80 to 90% of people don't actually follow through on their New Year's goals, which is crazy. And it's like 50 to 60% quit within the first 6 to 8 weeks. So if that's been you every other year, this year is your year, especially if you listen to this podcast, because you should have some awesome takeaways. And we're also going to share a little bit about some of our goals going into 2026. So hang around if
Yeah.
you're interested, but first, dying to know how baby Jakers is doing.
Oh, he's so good. Mom's here watching him today. So hopefully they do okay together, but they might be busting in. But actually, I have a funny story that I need to tell because I feel like such an idiot. So Ellie has like her school is doing like Christmas week or whatever. So there was like funny sweater day and like Christmas sock day and then like Christmas pajama day. And then there was Christmas hair day. But in my head, I just like read it and wrote it down as crazy hair day.
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
and I still feel so bad because so like yesterday morning, Brett's like kind of just working sporadically right now, and he's basically been home for the last like 3 weeks straight. So we like have a really slow morning together, and he
Oh,
takes Ellie
so
to school.
nice.
Yes, it's been amazing. But he takes her and goes to the gym, and we just like chill. So this was also the first day that I have both kids. I'm making breakfast for me, for Ellie, getting her dressed, da da da. And I'm like, and it's fucking crazy hair day. Like, what are we gonna do with your hair? So I put it in like 8 ponytails, like they're like spewing out all over her hair. And she's just like, she's very finicky about like feel. And we've talked about that. And she's starting to be the age where she wants to like, she can tell how she looks and she wants to look nice.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom, no, like, what if we get to school and like no one else has crazy hair? And I'm like, it's crazy hair day, Ellie. Like everyone's gonna have crazy hair. Like, come on. Like, so then on each on each ponytail, I put like a, you know, those clips from when like we were kids, like the butterfly
Yeah.
clips. We have those, but they're like flowers and they're like neon. So I put a neon flower clip on every single one. So she's got 8. And then like
Opposite of Christmas.
I know. And she was nervous. Like she was embarrassed and nervous about it. And I was just like, Ellie, just get over it. And then we get there and we walk in and all the girls had like beautiful Christmas hair.
No.
Like, what's
Yes.
Christmas hair? Just like red and green
Like
bows.
one girl had like a perfect ballerina bun with like a ribbon,
Like
a
Cindy
Christmas
Lou
ribbon wrapped
Who.
around it. And one girl had like pink sparkles and 2 mini little Santa hats on like the bun, like a
Ellie.
little mini bun. And she just like looking around. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. And I had to like take out each individual ponytail, like at her locker, sitting there going into school. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like, ugh. When she got home, I'm like, Mommy has to tell you something. I got it wrong. It was Christmas hair day. I thought it was crazy hair day.
What was
And I
her
know that
reaction? Like, was she like, it's
she was
okay?
sad and embarrassed. Oh, when I said that to her, she was like,
Mhm.
yeah, no one else had crazy hair. I'm like,
Aw.
I know. I fucked up and I'm sorry. She's like, yeah.
That makes me
But
sad.
I know I feel really sad thinking about it, but I also know that it's hilarious, but, like, I feel like she's gonna remember that for the rest of her life and probably
I know, I'm, like, thinking back to this time, like, my parents always fucking waited very last minute to get me
Mhm.
Halloween costumes, and there was nothing good. And one year I was this literally in grade 1, I was at a new school, 'cause I just moved to Edmonton, and I was this fucking no one knew what I was supposed to be a witch, and I just remember being so like, it's ingrained, like, it is a core memory, just so embarrassed, like, everyone's in these, like, cute princess costumes, I'm this, like, ugly witch thing, and I'm, like, parading through the school, and everyone's like, "What are you?" And I'm like, fuck off."
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny, though, and the fact that you, like, explained to her, I feel like it's fine.
Yeah, so I feel like I've been over explaining to her since she was such a little kid that now it's like she expects it, which I love, but also it's
Also,
oh,
she
I
looked
just
like the cutest little princess on her
oh,
recital
her
day, so that
haircut
makes up
recital.
for it.
Yeah, she's like,
So
"Mom,
cute.
what about when I was starting to do it?" She's like, "Let's go to the hairdresser and they can just spray sparkles in my hair." And I was like, "Oh, that's not how the hairdresser works." Oh, fuck, so such a fail, but like also it's like, "Mom," I saw this meme that was like, "Mom's at Christmas and we're just fucking running around, going insane, wrapping, baking, duh, 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 duh," and then it's like school, "It's ugly sweater day today," and you're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
So
Yeah, it's
read
a
the
full
fine print, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jeb, I'm dying to know how your is it called Hyrox or Hydrox?
High rocks. Yep,
Why
that's
is it
this
called that? Can
I
we
don't
first talk
know
about that? Oh.
what it stands for actually at all. That's a really good question, and I kinda wanna Google it, but I'm not gonna Google it right
I feel
now.
like it probably is something like hybrid,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Well, we
Blah,
can't call it
blah, blah.
hybrid, we call it
High
high
rocks,
rocks."
because this rocks, and it doesn't really rocks, but yeah, it's this Saturday. I am very interested to see how it will go because I feel like this last week I've just been so busy and it's good to taper off closer to, but I'm just getting in my head because I'm not like intentionally tapering. I'm tapering because I have no time to work out right now. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen? And then Matt's in the middle of midterms and is up until midnight, up at like 7 a.m. studying all day long. And also, he's gotten some workouts in, but I'm just like, uh-oh, like, what the hell's gonna happen? But I'm I'm excited, and last night, Matt was like, "You know what?" I was like, "I'm kinda getting, like, a little frustrated that this might not go as well as I felt like it was going to, like, 3, 4 weeks ago," and he's like, "It's okay, like, we should just be proud that we're finishing, like, who cares about the time?" And I was like, "I do. I care about the
Yeah,
time."
like, "Okay, Matt, go
And
back
you're
to
also
frickin'
gonna
participant land," like
Yes, exactly, and to begin with, I was like, "You know what? Let's just do it," and he's like, "No, I want a good time. I wanna do good," and I'm like, "Okay, like, I guess I gotta fricking train to do good because I'm gonna be the one that holds us back," and now I'm like, "Oh, mister, I just wanna finish, like, I don't wanna be doing this for." So my goal is under an hour 20, so everyone will see this well, you'll have already seen when this comes out if I got that
You know
goal.
you're gonna do amazing.
It's
You do.
fucking I know I will, but, like, it's hard. It's so hard, and it's so long because I don't even think I talked about this 2 weeks ago, we did a run through, and
Oh, I saw it on your stories. It was so funny.
it
You look
is
dead.
a grind, like, it is literally that whole day, I was just, like, I wasn't sore the next day, but the whole day after, I was just on the couch, like, "What the fuck?" And then since then, I've, like, been kinda scarred, but I think when I did that, I'm like, "Okay, I can do this, like, it's not gonna be horrible," but so, yeah, I'm excited, there's been a lot of exciting things. Matt comes home tomorrow, he's writing his last exam right now, so I'm excited for him to be
Hey.
back. This is the longest
Yay.
we've gone since he's left, and then exciting news, my best friend, which is also his no, my best friend just got engaged to his twin brother. So,
Matt's twin brother.
yeah, by the time this comes out, everyone will know that doesn't know yet, but I'm very, very excited about that. So, lots to look forward to. 3 of my friends have either gotten engaged or are getting married in the next, like, year and a half, so it's a busy time.
That's crazy. I just
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
such a
so cool,
fun.
though, about you and Brooke. I'm like, you guys pulled off, like, the ultimate best friend move, like, so
Yeah.
hopefully you and Matt make it the long run
I know,
'cause
we're,
I'm
like, a
like
quarter way there. When they FaceTimed us, Brooke no, Matt was like, "Brooke, I can't believe we're gonna be related," and I was like, "Brooke, I can't believe we might be related one day. Like, it's actually crazy, and everyone from high school is like, "Of course you guys are
I
freaking."
know. I'm just like, how many little girls just dreamed of that with their like lifelong best friends? Like,
Oh, I'm
imagine
like,
if we married twin brothers.
but like even more, you can like be aunties to each other,
I
babies.
know,
I'm
like,
like,
when I the
that's
next day,
so
I was just, like,
cute.
sitting in my kitchen having breakfast, and I seriously felt like crying just thinking about, like, because I didn't have, like, a super tight-knit family with, like, traditions, and I wasn't super close to my cousins or anything like that, and I'm like, I just, like, feel so much happiness thinking about the fact that I hopefully will be oh my god, I could literally cry thinking about hopefully be able to give that to my kids one day, and, like, I'm so close with Matt's sister, and, like, it's just yeah, it's exciting stuff, so now I just need to get engaged, which
Hopefully,
mm,
I'm first for
yeah,
you, and then me, then
I'm gonna
Jen.
wait for Kira to go first.
Speaking of goals for 2026, Jensen and Kira getting engaged.
Top goal. Let's go through our SMART goal system and see how we're gonna
Yeah,
Well, it's more about
actually.
becoming the wife who would someone
Oh,
would
shut the
engage to.
fuck up. Shut.
You have to embody the identity. If you guys need wife tips, you just let me know. Just kidding. I'm pretty much
Homemaker over
But
here.
like
yeah,
actually,
pretty much
but like
the
actually.
opposite of a wifey, but it's fine.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah. See this ring?
Oops. Yeah, so
Uh,
lots of big things coming, but
it's exciting.
so what do you think I should we talk about? I know Lacey, you kind of wanted to talk about some things that you were thinking over last night.
Yeah, me and Jensen were just kind of like, okay, what should we talk about on the podcast? And I was like, oh, we'll just like talk about what SMART goals are, and then I'll kind of share like my goal setting strategy because if you are a new listener to the podcast, then you might not know. But for the last like 5 years now, this year I was actually a little bit short on one of my goals. So it's the first year in,
It's got to be longer than 5 years.
yeah, I think it is. I think it's
Yeah,
honestly
It's
for
like
10.
sure.
7, maybe 8 years that I've literally
Yeah.
hit every single goal that I set going into the new year. And I was like, and I'll just share like my strategy and what I kind of do. And then I was just like thinking last night, and I'm like, what is the reason why I am so successful with hitting my goals? Because it's not like I just write down, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds and I want to make this much money and I got this many followers. And then it's like, oh, it just happens. Right. And I'm like really thinking of my strategy that I always explain and like kind of trying to come up with the overarching theme of it all. And I really realized that setting smart goals is just not actually what you should be doing.
This episode of The Wellness Effect is brought to you by Lifestyle You. If you're listening to this podcast and thinking, okay, this sounds like me, whether it's low energy, hormone imbalances, stubborn symptoms, or you just feel like you've tried everything, Lifestyle You is our root cause coaching program designed to help you actually connect the dots.
We use functional nutrition, personalized support, and functional lab testing to figure out why your body is doing what it's doing, instead of just guessing or slapping a band aid on symptoms.
And because you're a listener of the Wellness Effect, when you use the code Wellness Effect, you'll receive a free functional lab when you join the program. If this episode is resonating with you, make sure to share it with a friend, subscribe to the podcast, and check out the show notes to learn more about Lifestyle You and how to apply.
And we've kind of been taught to set SMART goals. And if you don't know, that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And on paper, like that sounds great. That sounds like what we should be doing, right? But SMART goals really do focus on the result and not the person that is required to get the result, which I think is way
Yeah.
what we need to focus on more because SMART goals just kind of assume that you'll magically become more consistent or more disciplined or more regulated or more motivated or whatever it is because you wrote that down. So it's like an example of a SMART goal is like, I want to lose 40 pounds by April 1st. It's all of those things. It's specific, it's achievable, it's measurable, it's time bound, it's relevant, right? And so it's like, well, we think that's a good goal. Like that makes sense. But it doesn't really mean that you're going to do it. And when people, it really doesn't like also account for everything else that goes on in your life and your
Yeah.
energy or your stress levels or your hormones or your nervous system or your actual life. And so I think when we set smart goals, once we miss a workout or we skip a meal or we fall off routine, they don't think, okay, how do I adjust? It's more like, oh, I failed. And like now that goal's done. And that's kind of where everyone stops. And that's why everyone never really makes it past that first 6 to 8 weeks because they just think, oh, I'm done now because I failed because I didn't hit my goal or whatever. And so the shift that what really helps me and what I think will actually work is you have to stop asking like what goal do you want and more so start asking who do I need to become to achieve that goal. And so goals aren't necessarily achieved by writing better goals or achieved by becoming the person who naturally does the behaviors and the identity. And when I really like zoomed out, I'm like, that's what I do because I set these goals for the year and I write them all out. And those are technically like smart goals on paper. They're very smart. But what I do and what my whole method is then I break it into the quarter of the year and then the month. And then when I'm setting my weekly goals, I look up at my monthly goals and it's like, okay, what do I have to do every week, every month, every quarter in order to reach that end goal, in order to become that person? And so it's like, okay, if your goal is to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year, it's not like on a weekly basis I'm writing down lose 1 pound. I'm
Yeah.
writing down follow my macros, eat whole foods, move my body every single day. And then it's like, and then my quarterly goals is even broken down just a little bit more. It's like, okay, I'm someone who averages 4 workouts a week. I average 10,000 steps per day, knowing that there's going to be like some flexibility in that, but it's much more catered towards the person that is going to be doing those things in the identity because that's really what you need to do. It's like not the question of how much weight do I want to lose. It's like what does the version of me who feels good in her body do consistently? And then
Yeah.
those should be what your goals are about. Is that does that make sense?
No,
Yeah,
that
so
makes a lot of
almost like
sense.
I'm hearing like, okay, if you need to like even take the goal a step further. So if your goal is to lose 40 pounds, it's like, what does that goal give you? It gives you feeling good in your body. Okay, so what does someone who feels good in their body do? Is that kind of
Yeah. It's
make
because
sense?
like when you focus on that outcome of 40 pounds, I want to lose 40 pounds or whatever, every action just feels like heavy. But when you
Yeah.
focus on identity, then the actions start to make sense, and it's why most people don't hit their goals. They're just trying to act like a different person without actually becoming that person
Yeah.
first.
So it's like, okay, almost with your goal, and we're talking a lot about weight loss people just because that's
It's an
a very
easy
common goal and it's
yeah.
really easy to break down. None of us want to lose 40 pounds, but let's say like with that person that loses 40 pounds, just touching on what Kira said too, it's like, okay, who is a person? This is kind of like hard to navigate and not make it sound offensive, but like, who is the person that is 40 pounds lighter than who I am right now? And what does that person do rather than just I want to lose 40 pounds? And a lot of the times even, and I'm sure you both have seen this too, like when we get our clients to set weekly goals, sometimes we will have like the goal is I want to lose 1 pound. And it's like, okay, but what are you doing to get to that goal? It's okay if you want that. It might not happen. It might happen. But what is the person doing that will lose that 1 pound that week? Are they following their meal plan? Are they getting their steps in? Are they drinking their water? Are they going to sleep? Whatever that looks like, and breaking that down even. And then you check that off and you build confidence, right?
Yeah. And I think just a lot of the times too, we set those smart goals. I want to lose 40 pounds. It's like it comes from a place of like guilt, pressure, comparison, and a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist yet. And so
Mhm.
instead of just like changing things slowly one by one, you just burn yourself out. Instead of building that momentum, you feel behind constantly. And instead of like adjusting as you go, you just quit. So it's much
Yeah.
better to like also set goals. And we talk about this a lot with our clients is more about like your floor and ceiling. Like start with your capacity, not your like best case scenario or your like most motivated week that January 1st or even your worst week. It's just like, what can I realistically maintain when life's messy, when I'm tired, when motivation is low. And it's like set yourself up for that version. And then when you are feeling super excited and motivated, it'll just be so much easier. But that's kind of the version of the habit that actually matters is like when
Well,
you're
and it helps you like
exhausted.
create the path too, because if you, like we talked about, even breaking that goal down. So, okay, I want to lose 40 pounds. Okay, I want to be someone who feels good in my body. I also want to be someone who keeps it off. Or if it's a goal of like saving money, I want to be able to continue. I don't want to just save $10,000 and then blow it and then have to
Yeah.
save it again. Or even like I think of a follower, like an Instagram follower goal. It's like you can pay for your followers and then probably lose them later, or you can like find a way to get them naturally. And it's like that will help you create the path as well because it's showing you how you wanna feel when that goal comes to fruition, and even when I think about weight loss, it's like, okay, do you wanna lose that weight quickly and, like, maybe
Gain it
take
back.
something that helps you lose it quickly and then a bunch of other shit goes wrong in your body, or do you wanna do it in a way that's sustainable for the rest of your life and maybe even go further than that or, like, build muscle from there? So I think that's a cool way too to think about it is it creates the path for you when you're able to get more specific,
Yeah, and
right?
Lacey, with your goal, and I think you talked about this on the last episode we recorded. I don't know what the order is that it's coming out, but just like your goal to hit 100,000 followers and how you even shifted that halfway through the year. Like, okay, a person that hits 100,000 followers and gets a video with 10 million views isn't just winging it and posting random
Yeah.
shit. A person that's doing that is like asking for help and hiring
Investing.
outside people and investing. And you did that. And then freaking 1 month before
Bang, bang, boom.
you doubled
Bada
it,
bing.
like yeah, so it's just so cool to see that, like,
Yeah.
that
Well,
mindset shift play out in the last year even.
Well, and it's just so funny because so many people are like, you either love manifesting or you hate it. And you're like, you can't just manifest these things into your life. But it's so interesting when I am manifesting these goals. It's like my belief of what manifesting is writing your goal down and then becoming the person who would achieve that goal. And so it's like when I had that on my background and I'm looking at it every day, like 100K followers, 110 million things, it's like technically 10 million views, technically that is like a smart goal, but it's just my at this point in my like goal setting journey, I'm not thinking about just that number. I'm thinking about who do I need to become? What kind of person shows up that already has 10 million views, that already has 100,000 followers? And I'm like,
Right.
okay, if I'm looking at other creators in the space, they have help, they post consistently, they're not scared to share their opinion, they're like posting a little bit of things that could be taken the wrong way. They're getting hate comments. So I'm just like, okay, like that's who I need to become. So it's almost just like my default now that I've done this goal setting strategy where I set my SMART goals and then every month and every week and every quarter I'm breaking it down into what do I need to do to achieve that's where the kind of missing link is, and like to me that's what manifesting is. It's not just like putting 100K followers on a vision board and then not taking any action because
And not
that's what I
looking at
think.
the vision board again for fricking 6
Yeah.
months, being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, fuck, I didn't hit that."
But that's where you wanna start tying your identity to it, and it's like, how much more powerful does that sound instead of saying, "I wanna lose 40 pounds this year," is, "I'm someone who moves her body most days, even if it's short," or, "I'm someone who chooses foods that support my energy," or, like, it's such a better way to look at it versus just like, "This is my goal, and this is what I have to do." It's like, no, who do you have to become? And like Jensen said, look for people in your life who live the life that you want, whether that is with relationships or your lifestyle or your career. What are they doing and who do you have to become? So it's not like instead of I need to be perfect, it's I'm someone who gets back on track quickly. Like there's just so
Yeah.
much more
I'm
weight.
someone who's
Yeah.
engaged. I'm
Yeah.
someone
Yeah. Like I said, start cooking some homemade meals. I'm just kidding. But it really
Or
just helps you shift from like that all or nothing mindset
yeah,
and you set those behavior based goals, not outcome based goals. And because outcomes are just always like lagging indicators. Where are you behind? Where are you
Yeah.
behind? Where are you behind? Behaviors are what you can actually control on a daily basis. And so
And what you
the
have
goal isn't
to. You
waste.
don't have a choice. You
Yeah,
don't
you
get to just lose
no.
40 pounds by writing it down. That's not how it
yeah.
works. I think that's like the big message is
And sometimes SMART goals are limiting. We've done like obviously workshops in the past with like clients and non-clients about goal setting and people have these like good goals and then they're like, "Well, I can't do that because it's not like specific, measurable, blah blah
right.
blah blah, time bound."
Yeah, we're like,
And then you kind of limit yourself. It's like, "Okay, well, 40 pounds it is. Like I lose 1 pound this like zero point 0.7 pounds every week, then I'll hit that goal." And so we kind of like limit ourselves a little bit with those SMART goals, I find in a way.
mhm.
Yeah. No, I really realize that because that's how we've taught it every other year. It's like, "Hey, everyone, pick your SMART goals, then divide it into quarterly, what you have to hit," and I'm just like, it just never really, like I'm like, "That's not really what I do, though," and so I was, like, really trying to, like,
But that
just
is how
think
it
last night.
starts, and, like, it's a piece of it,
Mhm.
but it's that growth aspect that
Mindset.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
been there over the years too, and you're just, like, having the ability to verbalize it now because you really realize it and
Yeah,
recognize it.
but it's yeah, so it wasn't like I put, like, "Okay, I wanna reach 100K followers," and then every month I was like, "Okay, I need to get 10K followers." It was like, "I wanna reach 100K followers. Okay, I need to post every single day."
Yeah.
Okay, I you know what I mean? Like, that's how but I just didn't have the way really to explain it,
And then it
and
was
then
like,
I
"Shit, I
just
need to hire someone."
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm doing it. You got to whatever 60,000 followers alone, which is amazing, but then it's like, okay, this is where like people plateau and pushing past that. So, I think what we can also talk about is maybe go into just like examples of that in different areas like relationship, financial, business, health, and give examples of kind of how you would structure that and
yeah,
set it up throughout your year.
yeah. Because I was even thinking about this because I was like, "Oh, what buckets should we talk about and stuff?" And now I'm like, if you really zoom out on your whole entire life, I think it's actually smart to choose 1, maybe 2 buckets and not try to
Yeah.
set a career goal, a lifestyle goal, a
Okay,
financial, like,
Yes.
sorry,
all in the
by
same
bucket, you
year.
mean, like, category of goal?
Yeah, like, I'm like, "Oh, we'll tell them to set, like, a wealth
Right.
goal and a lifestyle goal," and but I'm like, if you are really new to the lifestyle stuff, like, that's focus on that for a year, and then the next goal, focus on your career or whatever, so I think I even changed a little bit on that. It's just, like, really hone in on one area of your life that you're like, 2026 is the year that this is gonna change, and I think it's cool. Obviously, we are a health coaching company, so we're here for you. But I think health is like such a catalyst for you being able to get the confidence in every other realm to be able to eventually set those goals. So we encourage you guys to set health goals, but that's besides the point. We will give you
Yeah.
some examples of other goals that you can set. But yeah, anyways.
But yeah, I think with like financial, because that's a big one for a lot of people, especially with what's going on with our economy. Um, and so,
Wah, wah,
womp womp.
wah.
Boo, Canada.
um, but with that being said, like maybe you don't necessarily set a goal of I'm gonna like save whatever $10,000. We'll just throw that out there because things come up, like your dog might go to the hospital or you might have to like replace something in your house and then all of a sudden like you're not going to be able to hit that goal and you're like, well, screw it, right? So that's another situation where you just give up halfway through, but maybe that person that saves $10,000 is someone that budgets accordingly and like looks at their finances every week and is actually like paying attention to it. And so maybe that's what it is. Or maybe getting to that point is picking up some extra work, right? I just did exactly like I just did Ashley's mindset makeover and it was money this year. And I was just talking like, if you work a 9 to 5, it is crazy in my mind that people aren't picking up more work. There's so many ways to make extra cash that actually goes a long way and it's online. It doesn't mean you have to go into like work retail for like 5 hours every night. Like you can work 2 hours a day and that makes such a big difference. And so
During your 9 to 5.
or yeah, during your 9 to
Well, that's what I
5.
was gonna say. Like yeah,
Like
I
that's
mean
what Matt's been doing for us this whole time, you know what I mean? Like is just like double dipping essentially and there's
Yeah.
so much room to do that if you feel like you're kind of in that I don't know, that space where it's like, well, I don't make enough to even save is like there's always ways, even if you can't quit your job and find another one. So
And
that's
even
just
to
a
take
side
that one,
tangent.
like, a step higher, it's like, are you either A, living outside of your means a little bit, or are you B, not getting what you're worth at the current job that you're
Yes,
at? And do you need to go to your employer and be like, "Look, like, I've been here this long, this is how awesome I am, and I'm gonna look for something else because I don't make enough money here."
totally.
And then they give you a raise and you don't have to quit. Like, that could happen, or you yeah, so I
or
don't
you could
really
get
know what else.
fired on the spot,
You
but
could get
don't
fired
come
on the spot.
Could be the best thing that happens to you. And the one last thing I'll say with this is too, when we talk about like investing to get to that point, is if finances are something and like investing and whatever is something that really overwhelms you, maybe this is the year you start looking for someone to help you in that department, right? And that was one of the biggest changes that I made last year is I basically handed over all my investments and it's been an absolute game changer for like just making money and not doing anything, right? And so I'm giving some of that to the person that's investing it for me, but the amount I'm making from it is so much more worth it because it would just be sitting there. And so that's just another example. Like maybe you're not in at the point where you need someone to look after your investments or you have someone doing that already, but maybe you're meeting with like a financial planner to just kind of like work those things out.
Yeah. Or I think it's even what you said at the beginning. It's like you're just looking at your bank account every day. It's
Yeah,
like
just
that's the
check, just
first
take a
place to
look.
start. So
Just know.
everyone's just at different
Different points.
levels. But yeah, it's just more about not,
Awareness.
yeah, awareness, raise your awareness, but more about, oh, not I want to save 40 grand, but I want to do a side hustle this year like
Yeah.
that. Or
Who's the
I'm going to,
person
yeah,
that's
that you
going to
have to
save
become.
40 grand?
Yeah. And what are they doing? Right.
Yeah.
Or those people that are financially free or they don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. What are they doing? They probably do look at their bank account most days. They probably do have someone doing their investments for them. They probably do have a side gig,
And they
right? So,
probably didn't get there in 1 year, so that's why it's so good to break
Exactly.
it down instead of just like, "Okay, 2026, I'm gonna be completely financially free." It's like, "Okay, well, that might not be true, but
Yeah,
you'll have
shit
a much
happens.
better understanding of your finances after just a year." And it doesn't take that much time. I remember when I first, like, created an Excel spreadsheet of a budget for me and Brett, and we loved it. Like, we just both kinda put our stuff in there, and we know what our bills are, and it's just so easy, and then you can have that audit of, "Whoa, we, like, ordered skip the dishes, like,
30 times.
14 times last month,"
And
and,
we
like
can't afford and we say we can't afford a gym membership.
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So, maybe you totally blow it on your goal, but you understand what's going on in that department, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your finances. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're just getting a better understanding of what the hell is going on.
Not to rush the process too, because it's like even doing that, right? Even just you looking at your finance every day this year is going to make you more aware. It'll save you some money. And then maybe next year in 2027, you have that extra cash that you saved just by seeing what you're spending on a day to day basis, that you have the money now to invest. And then in 2027, the goal is I want to be someone who has investments that I can rely on or whatever, right? So it's like you got to also just be realistic with yourself, but that's why that goal is really like never ending, right? It's like I want to be the person who is aware of my money stuff. And
Yeah.
so it just like
Yeah.
goes in yeah, I don't know where I'm going
And
with that,
once you
but
start, like, I feel like this can go into any, I'm going to really try my best to figure out how I want to say this because it's confusing in my head right now. But I remember dad saying to me when I was like in my early 20s, I was terrible with money for a really long time. I just like never had a savings, always had like a couple grand on my credit card, just like would pay it off and whatever, whatever. And dad said to me, like, trust me, bud, like once you get out of that, it's like addicting to see the money start to like actually pile up in your bank account. And you think it feels good to like online shop or skip the dishes or spend your money on this, 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 and this. But it took me a long fucking time to get out of it. Don't get me wrong. Like it was like 6 years of working two jobs before I got to like zero. So I don't want it to come across like I just whatever magically did that. But it is true, and, like, the same can apply for your relationships and apply to your health, and it's like once you start, like, racking that bank account up, whether it's with your relationship,
Yeah,
with
wow.
the way that you're feeling, or literally with money, you can feel that, like, dopamine hit addiction that you're getting from these shitty habits from a good one, but you just have to, like,
And it's even
make
more
it through.
addicting.
yeah, just have
Yes,
to
and you
delay the
also aren't
gratification.
terrified and feeling like shit and sad and lonely all the time.
That was such a good analogy. Good job, you nailed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
whew.
No, because it's yeah, it's just that instant gratification, which is at our fingertips. And like you said, it's like, okay, yeah, you can get the instant dopamine hit by eating the whatever Cheetos. I'm like, I can't think of an example of
Flamin'
fat foods,
hot?
right?
Oh,
But it's like,
flamin'
Yeah.
hot Cheetos?
yeah, instant dopamine hit, right? Or you wait and you slowly start losing weight and you're feeling more confident. And so it's like, if you can just delay that great gratification for long enough, eventually that positive feedback loop will get in you and then it will just
It's
pay off.
addicting.
Yeah, it's super addicting. That's why we're all rich, hot, in amazing relationship. I'm just
With
kidding.
great bodies.
Great minds.
If you could see Kara right now, she's like,
She's cringing, but just
"We're
kidding.
just kidding a little bit."
Just kidding. Just kidding. These bitches can't even get engaged, so.
Shut the fuck up.
But it's yeah. So kind of pick what you want to focus on and just like remind yourself of that as it's so much more empowering, rewarding, and easier to be hit if you actually focus on becoming the person that would have that goal versus just chasing that goal. And then when you're really looking at it, it's like, what can I do on my shittiest, worst day when I have zero motivation and I don't want to get off the couch? Like,
Yeah.
what will I be able to do on that day? And then that's the identity that you want to try to stay committed to. Because, yeah, you don't really need more discipline or a stricter plan or to try harder. You just need to build the goals around who you're becoming, not who you think you should already be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
Do you think it would be valuable? Because I will admit I haven't even thought about my goals. Even when I saw this was our podcast, I was like, hey, I gotta get my goals. And I'm
I
just like,
know.
I feel very frazzled. So do you think it would be valuable for me to kind of like with you guys as my coach, walk through what my goals should be?
Yeah, that's so
Okay.
fun.
Okay, because here's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, of course, I'm postpartum. And so I have like body, what's the word?
Body, yaddy,
Recomp?
yaddy.
Recomp goals. Did you say body, yaddy, yaddy?
Body,
But
what's the word?
honestly,
Yada, yada,
like,
yada.
yes, I'm like, holy shit. Well, my ass is completely gone, but my hips and my tits, I'm like, whoa, I got curves now. And then I turn to the side and I'm like, oh, that's good. So I want to build my ass back, I guess, really. But at the same time, it's so important to me to breastfeed for a year and also maintain my mineral status.
So that's the
Ooh.
perfect combination for growing a fat dumpy is you
Yeah,
got to
seriously.
eat, you got to train hard, you got to get your minerals in. So I think that is
Okay.
in alignment with what you want.
Yeah, I'm
And what does
almost
that
like
person that has a fat ass do?
Eats.
She eats and she
she
trains hard
eats and she trains hard. Okay,
and
cool.
she follows a program.
Yeah. Who
Progressive
wants to
overload.
do it? Who wants to make my program? Okay, good.
I know
Okay, cool.
someone.
That's exciting. And that's kind of like it for me
I
for
think like,
Yeah.
2026.
but it's like that's it. But I think too, also because even in previous years where I haven't set like crazy goals, there's also years to just maintain, especially if you've changed a lot in your life in the last year, 2 years, three
Yeah.
years. It's not always that you have to become this better, bigger, sexier version of yourself. It's just like, that's okay. I'm just going to keep doing these things that I've done and I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to continue to be the person that prioritizes her health and
Yeah.
everything like that. You know what I mean? I don't think you always have to be like reaching. I took like 2 straight years off of like doing anything
Goals.
because it's just like you can also get addicted to like fixing everything. And
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
that's fine. And you have just been through like such a crazy 3 or
Journey.
4 years. So I think like you just focusing on growing a butt is good. But I think also in that, it's like you still want to, who do you want to be and where do you want to be with like your nutrition and how you're prioritizing that? Because it's like you were on such a thing prior to getting pregnant. Then obviously you just do what you can when you are pregnant. So it's
Yeah.
like, what kind of person do you want to be when you're showing up just in like that?
Like
But
even
that
after
even
breastfeeding.
that even ties into growing a fat dumpy because they're also prioritizing nutrition and eating whole
Yeah.
food. So it's like we can kind of
Yeah.
tie that in versus more like you just need to follow a progressive overload program.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, for me, like eating enough is going to be hard because I've probably been sitting at around like 2,000 calories very easily. It comes naturally to me. I'm just like lucky in that way. But I know that I'm going to need to eat more if I want to start working out heavily, like 3 to 4 days a week. So it's like right now I'm kind of in this phase where I'm like, can I? Like, and how do I do it? Like, I need to be the person that's like making protein balls and has like Greek yogurt prepped in the fridge and is like cooking taco meat on the weekends. Like, that's what it's kind of. So
Would
I'm
you
almost like,
ever track macros? Just for sake of conversation?
How bad do you want it?
Yeah, are you stepping on stage 2027 or what's
Let's
going on here?
go.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Oh my god, that would be actually I'm
Full
Waiting for you to
getting
180.
get the
married I'm
itch.
hoping to have a wedding in 2027, okay?
All right.
Right.
No, but I think, I hate I
I
don't
know it's
even know what to say
conflicting.
right now because I have had clients that I'm like, "You need to track your macros," and I fucking like, I've never once made it through an entire day. Like, I'm like, "I'm gonna start tracking my macros," and then I get to lunch and I'm like, "This is the most annoying thing to have to do in the whole entire
What
world."
about following a meal plan?
That I liked.
So that's
Yeah.
easier. That's a way to do it. It's just I feel like you're such like a cooker that following a meal plan would be annoying.
No, 'cause I no.
It's more
I
so
can
even if you just weigh because you can kind of plan out and it's like, hey, your dinner is pretty random. Your breakfast and lunch are probably a little bit more
stable.
streamlined. So
Yeah.
it's like maybe you're someone who just starts like weighing out protein and your carb options or something like that. And then you don't even necessarily have to track it. But
Yeah, or maybe you just start with adding a snack that is like Greek yogurt and more
Yeah.
consistently, you know what I mean? But no, I think that's a good goal. And I also think it's hard for you to probably to make any goals around like business specifically and like our jobs and even social media as you're kind of navigating like maternity leave and like what
Yeah.
that's going to look like and even things are changing in the business. And so I think all of us it's kind of hard to like set those goals because things seem to be changing quite quickly, quite dramatically. So it's hard
Yeah.
to even think about where we'll be in a year from now. Um,
And it's, like, funny because when I'm in the thick of it, like, if we're in a meeting about the business, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm so jacked up, I'm gonna do
yeah.
this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this," and then I, like, go and my house is a fucking disaster, and I have 2 kids, and there's no laundry done, and I have to get groceries, and I'm like, "Did I just say yes to that? Like, what am I thinking?" Like, what Brett asked me to, like, wash the bedding because Lacey and Zach are coming to stay with us in a week, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know when you expect me to do that." Like, I don't even have time for
you don't have to watch the bed. It's fine.
I already did it.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, it's just maybe just being someone a little more mindful, and also, like, I have to kinda decide right now, do I wanna be someone who, like, puts a lot of focus into my business right now so that I have freedom at some point in my life,
hmm
more freedom, or do I wanna be someone who really focuses on, like, being there 100% of the time for my kids? Because like, I
So hard.
It's so hard. Lacey in our meeting right before
yeah,
this, we're talking about how like your business is your baby, right? And then you're just kind of, and I don't think this is how it should be, but you're kind of expected to just like give that up for
yeah,
your physical baby. And it's hard. I don't wanna go into the whole, like, male female thing, but, like, men don't have that same, like, pressure, and for all of us that have worked so hard for this, like, job and
oh,
helping people and this, like, literally dream job, to give
yeah,
that up is it's ha not give it up fully because you don't have to give it up, but to figure out where you lie in terms of
yeah,
priorities and what you want that to look like is probably so hard, especially with, like, Ellie being at that age and Jake being a newborn.
yeah,
Well, and it even comes back to the identity, right? Because it's like, okay, a person that really excels in her career is not the same identity as a mom who's super involved. And I'm all for I don't think you have to necessarily like I think you can do both, but is it going to be at the same caliber if you were only doing one? There's no way.
yeah.
So
So,
hard.
Yeah, and it's
So
like
hard.
I did things at a pretty high caliber with, like, Ellie in limited, like, part-time childcare, so I'm, like, kinda confident in that, but, like, I part of me regrets that, but, like, part of me doesn't, and it's just so hard.
oh, we love being a woman in 2026 where we pretty much
Yeah.
have to work because everything is so
Yeah, we have
expensive.
to do both.
And you know what I was listening to this thing and I was like, wow, I've never even really thought about it like that. And this might be taken the wrong way and it's kind of the opposite of what we're thinking about, but
Can't wait.
yeah, I don't even know if I want to say it. But I think once your kids get a little bit older, it is a little bit easier to kind
Easier.
of go back into the work.
It just depends, though, if you wanna, like, put them in school or not.
Right, because 'cause you're
Yeah,
Like, are you
juggling with
keeping them
that.
home full time, or are you
right.
letting the
Right.
system
Yeah. But
Oh,
well, I like that. Kira, big booty on the
I
thing.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Big
I
booty on
also
the
I saw
Rasta.
this reel that was like, okay, and maybe you guys are gonna be like, Kira, that is not true, but there's a specific type of fat that is stored mainly in your glutes in your body, and it's a different kind than like other places, and it's the most needed fat source for newborns.
Hmm.
So your body literally sucks the fat out of your ass and like gives it to your baby. And I think it's like DHA or whatever. Like it's whatever's in like cod liver oil and like sardines. So like that's what you need to and like
I've
no
Wow.
one's
never
eating
heard
that.
that.
That's so interesting. I wonder if it's less to do with like storing it in your glutes and more to do just because a lot of women store fat in their glutes. So they like use that as an example in a reel. Cause I've just like never heard that we like,
I'm gonna send it to you guys because it
yeah,
was
send
literally like
it.
there's a specific type of fat, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god, here's me chugging sardines for lunch every day or whatever." But there's also like it's a lot of postural stuff.
That's what I was going to say. You
From
just,
pregnancy,
yeah,
you're like compensating for this huge belly, and you do weird pulling, and then even nursing is
Yeah, you're
another
hunched
way.
over.
So there's like a lot of compensation, which I understand, but it's actually crazy how like my whole ass just like gone.
Interesting.
And I'll never forget that time when I saw you guys and Lacey was like, "Wow, Kira, your butt is just blown." It was when Zach made me that. Like, I'm like, "Zach, I want to grow an ass," and he made me my training program. So I was like, "Oh, you can thank your husband for that." And then it's gone.
It'll come back. That's the good thing about glutes is you can build them. It's not boobs.
Yeah,
That's
So,
right.
cool. Well, I'm excited now about 2026.
what was your goals last year, Kira?
Uh,
If you remember.
Healthy pregnancy and a baby, and
Do you
Nailed
remember
it.
like what you set your goal? Like was it I want to have a like baby? Like do you remember actually setting that or is it just kind of
yeah,
more
because I remember,
subconscious?
and even like Lacey, you said this in a podcast, and hopefully this like lands okay with you, but it was like you want to be a parent. It's like, okay, to a dog, to a living human, like what does a parent mean? You know what I mean? So for me, I had to make it super specific. Like, I want a healthy pregnancy and baby.
Right.
Like, that whole thing is what I wanted. And I got pregnant in January, so I guess it worked, but
Yeah.
or
Nailed
February.
it.
But, that was one, and 10,000 followers on Instagram, which I didn't get.
Yeah, but you also were pregnant for a big part of the and then
But that's one thing too I wanted to talk about is I remember having one client who was a fertility client, and her on her vision board, she literally had in one corner, like, the most beautiful, insane body, and then in the other, she's like, "I wanna be, like, the most in shape, and, like, I wanna lose 15 pounds, and I wanna, like, get pregnant." I'm like, sometimes we have to, like, look at our goals and, like, the whole
year.
well, and, like, just the whole space of our life, and, like, does that make sense to wanna get? Because that was me a lot of years, was, like, putting on my vision board, like, I wanna do the splits this year," and, like, but also I hope I have a baby. So it's sometimes you have to look at them. Are you wanting to invest in your business and grow your business, and then you're also saying you wanna save $30,000? It's like, okay, well, maybe those don't happen in the same year, so I think
Such a
just
good point.
Well, and I
looking at
think
your
it,
goals.
yeah.
And that's why it's good to focus in that one area.
Yeah.
Well, and it also it just comes back to the identity because a person who wants to lose 15 pounds and have the best body of their life is not the same woman who is prioritizing getting pregnant.
Mhm.
Like it's just the daily actions of those two things. One, you're not going to get pregnant if you're in a deficit and losing weight. Well, you could. I'm not saying that's never happened because it definitely has,
Don't
but
use that as a form of birth control.
Yeah.
no. But yeah. But you know what I mean? Like that's why it comes down to the identity because those are two
Mhm.
different identities, two different wants, two different focuses. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, when I zoom out, that does not make any sense. So
So, Lacey, with that being said, your Instagram's blowing up, the business is changing, you also want a baby. Where does that leave you?
I've been thinking a lot about this and we're recording this in advance. And the episode that came out today is the episode where we're all crying and I'm talking about my fertility journey and all of that. And it was just so interesting how it's all kind of happened at the exact same time when my Instagram did start blowing up. Because even when we recorded that, I think I was around like 150,000 followers. So right in the thick of the momentum and also battling with like getting my period for the first time, or not for the first time, but that first time that month and learning that I wasn't pregnant and just overly emotional. And then just about the difference between like wanting the business, which I have dedicated and poured my heart and soul into for the last 7 years, but in reality, it's been, like, the last 15 years that I've been, like, on
Yeah.
this path,
Mhm.
wanting what is happening right now to happen so fucking bad, like, knowing that we have it and we've just been, like, waiting for this time, and so after that podcast, one, I was just, like, overthinking it for the whole entire week of, like, "Oh my god, what did I say? I feel so stupid. I was crying, like, blah, blah, blah." And also really thinking about what Kira said. I can't really remember if you said it actually on the podcast about just like, sometimes the universe messes up because, the business is your first baby. And like, cause I was getting all
Yeah.
those signs of it that I thought meant I was pregnant, but I think it was more signs that I
It's
was going to
happening.
finally get my business to blow up. And so I was just reflecting so much about like how I was feeling about not being pregnant yet. And I really realized that I was like, I've wanted this so bad, and I know that that's why, like, we're all here and together. I feel like I'm gonna cry again. Um, and so I've really, like, after that thing, I, like, really felt like myself surrender to it, and it just with the accounts blowing up. We've been so busy. We've hired 6 employees in the last week. Like, it's just all happening, and I think it was really like, "Oh, like, that's why I'm not pregnant yet," and so it almost gave me that, like, reasoning where I just felt like I didn't have it before, and I was always like, "Why is this happening to me? Like, why aren't I pregnant yet?" And it's like, "No, Lacey, you just need to trust the fucking plan because the universe is always
Yeah.
on your side. It's always been on your
Yeah.
side, and, like, that's what you've always believed, so, like, now why are you getting so upset and in your head and like, is this what you need or is this not what you need? Like whatever is supposed to happen, happen." And it was like a really cool moment because I've also realized how bad I wanted this in business. And I've been working 7 years and I'm like, I've been trying kind of for 8 months to get pregnant and 4 months
Yes.
super consistently. And I'm like, and I'm just like in tears about it not happening while at the same time my like biggest lifelong dream is happening. So I'm like, just enjoy this. I don't want like the heaviness of that journey to like overtake this like amazing
Yeah.
thing that's happening. And yeah, so I think I've like let that go and I'm just going to trust the process. Obviously, we are doing everything that isn't aligned with getting pregnant. And I think I can be both like a badass CEO while
Fuck
also
yeah.
trying to conceive.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
and I just think we're just getting so many things in place, so I almost think it's probably not gonna happen for a couple of months, and I think that's exactly why, and so, not that I'm, like, wanting to put that out into the universe or I don't want to, but it's just made me, like,
Everything happens for a reason.
everything happens for a reason, and I'm just accepting it, but I'm like, I am not gonna be, like, stressed out for the half of the month every month because I'm wondering if
Yeah.
I'm pregnant or not, and then, like, going through a week of hell because it didn't happen while also mentoring and hiring and bringing on all of these people, and, I'm like, I'm just gonna enjoy that because that's what I've loved for 8 years, like, that has been my identity, and so it's happening now, and so I'm just like, I'm just gonna
It's
enjoy it,
so
and I've just,
cool.
like, let that part go. Obviously, I'm still taking the steps, and I've really prioritized just, like, eating more food, like, feeding my body, not worrying about my body changing a little bit, and just, like and it's yeah, so I think it's all gonna
I just
be
think
good.
That's
kind of what
kind
we
of what
were
we were.
saying, it's when we talk about everything happens for a reason, like, if this didn't happen when it happened and, like, if you got pregnant and then the business blew up, we wouldn't have the
I cannot
capacity to hire all these
imagine
people and,
if
like,
I was in first trimester right now. I
No.
cannot fucking imagine how I would be feeling
we
with
wouldn't be able to
this.
take advantage of this, and
No.
now there's gonna become a time because 'cause you're hiring all these people, we're putting in all these systems that, like, we're forced to do now because the volume's coming in, and hopefully, the dream is when you're pregnant, you can take a step back and be like,
Yeah.
"Fucking handle all of this for me, everyone, please, like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to take a beat."
So
Yeah,
it's
and that's
definitely
funny because I listened to that episode this morning and I was like, "Oh, I gotta like say something to Lacey about like even my journey and looking back on how badly I wanted it at all of these different times and how no, I don't want to say it would have been bad, but like there are moments that I could have gotten pregnant and it would have kind of been brutal, to be totally honest, if I would
well,
have
and you
had
also are, like, on
a
that other
baby.
side where it's so amazing and Jake is so perfect and it's
Yes.
been so beautiful, right? So it's like, well, duh, of course it didn't happen
Yeah.
till then because then it wouldn't have been Jake, and then so it's just like,
It does all
that
make
totally
sense.
makes sense. So I had
And
goosebumps.
also just like
Same.
I have too when I was listening to that episode, I wish I would have like said this, but I have so much gratitude now for exactly the way that it played out, and just hearing you say, like, "Of course the universe is on my side." Like, of course I didn't get pregnant when I was fucking blowing up because the universe loves me and I'm the luckiest little tick turd
Yes.
on in the whole wide world.
No, so it was just, like, very interesting how that happened all
Yeah.
simultaneously, and we recorded that podcast, so then I was just, like, thinking about it even more and really reflecting on it, and so I've just kinda, like, not that I've let it go, and we're definitely still trying, but it's just not, I don't feel that, like, "Why hasn't happened yet?
Mhm.
When's it gonna happen? Maybe I'm not supposed to be a mom. Maybe I'm not supposed to be pregnant." I'm like, "No, no, no, Lacey, you're just getting your ducks in a row, and you've been
Yeah.
waiting for this moment." And
You're gonna be all of those things.
yeah, so my goals for 2026, honestly, I'm focusing on the business while simultaneously trying to get pregnant or getting pregnant, but I'm also not putting a timeline on the pregnancy because it might not happen in 2026, and that's totally fine. I'm more so wanting to become or be the woman who could get pregnant, and then I will shift my business goals when that happens, if that happens, while
Ooh, I like
also
that.
really stepping into being the CEO and, like, a businesswoman
Ooh.
and letting a lot of those, like, tendencies that I've had with people who I've hired over the years just, like, go, and stepping into that version who has a multi-million dollar company, and we're going for you guys, and I'm so excited, and I really been thinking about it. I'm like, "I think I wanna we should share more of, like, the journey of."
Yeah.
I know. The fact that we're gonna be able to document this all and, like, do you guys ever think, like, when we're, like, 80 years old, we're gonna be able to, like, look back
Listen
and,
to
like,
this
listen to these
podcast.
things? Like,
Yeah,
that'll be
well,
crazy.
okay,
That will
that's
be, and
funny
no, I've
because
never thought about that.
I was just saying to Brett, I'm like, "We should get Mila, like, a stereo for her Christmas." He's like, "What's she gonna play on it?" I'm like, "Oh, right." So, like, she doesn't have a phone, like, there's no CDs anymore, so, like, when I
Yeah.
was, like, 8 years old, I had a karaoke machine with, like, CDs in it, and I'm like, when we're 80, are we gonna even be able to hear these podcasts, or are they just gonna be, like, gone?" That's
I wanna
weird.
say, like, yes, because CDs are so different than, like, online, but
Yeah.
Well, and
You
CDs
just
were
don't know.
around a long time before we.
and they're still around.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like they were the thing for the last 40 or 50,
Yeah.
60, 80
Right,
years.
so
So
we're
now
gonna
it's
get
Right.
like podcasts are still pretty fresh. So I feel like they won't die down in 60 years, but maybe it'll be like a live version where you just like put on your glasses and you can like see the podcast people and it's all AI.
Oh,
But I love what you
gross.
said, Lacey, though, about, like, being able to shift your goals. Because even when you were
Yeah.
like, "I'm the person, I'm gonna be the CEO, I'm gonna be da 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 da," and in my head, I was like, "Okay, but you have to make space for a baby," but then you're like, "And I'm also the person who can shift," and I was like, "Okay, that is so cool," because I think that's, like, the whole point of this episode is it's like, as you become the person who loses 10 pounds or saves $10,000 or whatever, whatever, your goals might completely totally change, and I think this is might sound like such a plug of whatever, but the through line in all of these is, like, investing. Like, how many of your goals, Lacey, would you say you flat out just did by yourself
Yeah,
without
none.
paying someone to help you?
None. If we, and I was actually going to say that earlier too when it was coming up because it's like you are gonna get so much farther, so much quicker if you have help. And I think too, just before we switch topics, because we should talk about that, is even why more of these goals are or this whole conversation has just resonated even more for me because I'm not setting those arbitrary, oh, I want to make $2 million, I want to hit 500K on Instagram. I'm not doing that. I'm just
Mhm.
being the person who's not afraid to share my opinion and is going to continue to preach what I think on social media. And that person is going to grow an audience. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And I'm being this CEO and I'm not setting this goal because who knows? Something could happen in 6 months or we could continue to blow up and we could triple it. So it's like there's so many things that could change that's why that SMART goal, it's not really that smart because you don't know. It's just more about the identity. And I could become a mom this year or I could not become a mom this year. So it's like I don't want to make I'm going to
Put
become a
everything
mom.
else on hold.
No.
Yeah.
And that's actually one other thing I wanted to mention too, because I definitely feel like this whole past year, which is also playing into the frustration of not getting pregnant, is so many things I didn't do because I'm like, I might be pregnant. I don't want to buy that ticket. I might be pregnant. We don't want to go there. I'm like,
I
oh, I
might be in
might be
Costa
pregnant.
Rica.
I might be
Uh,
pregnant. I might be pregnant. And so I'm like, also this year, I'm not doing that. I'm like, we're going to make plans. We're going to do it. If we have to cancel, we will.
yeah.
Well,
Because I'm
and,
like,
like, I think that's a really cool transition into motherhood because it is going to pull you to completely lose all of yourself constantly every single day to just give and bleed yourself fucking dry and like watch some people when they become moms, they just like literally wither away and they don't worry about themselves for years and years. So to like start your journey from there is such a powerful place to be where it's like, no, 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 I matter the most.
Yeah.
Because without me, there's no one. And like, I just think that's going to be such a cool way to like start your journey and also make it just makes it easier to be honest. I don't know what the cocktail was. There was a lot of it in my experience, but like being a mom this time is so much easier. What? I thought
A
you
lot of
were gonna like
cocktails.
talk about my like viral video. Like I can't remember what cocktail it was that went viral. What adrenal cocktail you No, but it's just like it's easier for me to give my kids what I need and to like lay there. And I remember nursing Ellie to sleep and it would take 15 minutes and I would be so annoyed and angry and like I should be doing stuff and I need to da. And this time I'm like, oh, I get to lay here for 15 minutes and like nurse my baby to sleep. And it's just such a different experience.
Mm.
And that is such a gift, I think, too.
And what do you think changed that?
I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know the cocktail. Like, is it because I'm way healthier? Is it because I had lost 4 pregnancies and it took 3 years? Is
Is
it
it
because
because you're
my
just
minerals?
older,
Am I
mineral?
why? Am
Yeah.
I old?
Are you old as fuck? No, I'm just kidding. Are
But
you
I think it's
wiser?
that like journey.
Yeah.
It's the whole journey of it all. So, Jeb,
I don't really have any goals, honestly. Like, I haven't sat to think about it because, like I said, I've just been kind of like running on overdrive a little bit. I think with this high rocks, I don't want to continue in the same capacity because it is, I think, just too much for anyone to do long term. But it has kind of like reignited the power of accountability. And so, and like how much that helps stay on track. So I'm definitely going to like bring in some extra support just with like staying consistent in the gym and that kind of stuff. And like I said, with the business, like I'm having a hard time even setting those goals because I don't know what will come of it and as our roles change and etc. So that's something I think all of us need to sit down and talk about. And then I think about like the podcast and I said something to someone else. They asked how it was going. I'm like, I feel like this year we'll keep trying to do it on our own. And if nothing happens next year, we're going to probably have to bring in some big guns if we can't do it on our own in the next 2 years. And then, yeah, like last year, my only goal I set was to get 10,000 steps a day, and I hit 9,800. So I was pretty close to that.
Fall
well,
short
the year's
though.
not over.
Ouch.
I know. I have to get like
Should we
freaking
go just walk a marathon every
30,000
day?
steps every single
Oh,
day.
is that actually it? You should ask ChatGPT and then just see maybe it's possible.
Yeah, I just
But
like
also,
don't
it's like,
have
is it
that.
worth
Yeah.
burning? Yeah, no, it's not
I'm
worth
pretty
it.
proud of myself. I went up 1,000
Yeah.
steps from last year, and that's all I wanted because I knew last year my like activity had just gone down. So yeah, I'm just like at a place. I think I'm gonna sit and like make a vision board over the holidays and just like figure out what I want. And that's probably more the route I will go down and like make it my background again and
Ooh, I
journal
love this
about it
idea.
and all of that good stuff.
I wish we could have a little
I
in
know
person
when you said like you're
edition.
going to be together in a week, I'm like, "Oh, I wish I was there."
Mm. Well, when you move to Calgary and Lacey moves to Wainwright, we'll all be close for the holidays.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, that's
So
all
what
I
we're saying
have.
is make a vision board.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally that whole time I'm like, I think I just want to make a vision board. But no, I do. I usually end up coming up with a couple goals and then going from there. But I'm just like, I haven't really thought about it really this year.
I know. Well, it's just honestly, so much has changed in the last month. So
Yes. So
it's crazy.
we will
But
see. I would love to obviously gain more followers on Instagram and just figuring out what that looks like for myself. Like realistically, my goal in my head is to hit like 100,000. I don't know if that will happen in the next year, and I don't want to like set unrealistic expectations, but that is like my goal, and I'm just
Look,
putting it
Lacey's
out
like, it's
there.
easy.
Lacey's like,
well,
just
Easy.
that is
piece of
that's what you
cake.
mean. It's like one fucking reel.
I know exactly, and that's why
Change.
I'm like, I just need to put it out there because for so long I'm like, I want 20,000 followers. I'm like, why? Like, why say 20,000? Like, why not aim for 100,000? And I've been seeing my like Instagram, it's getting more traction, so I'm like, okay, it's possible.
Yeah,
Just
and
once again, it might
can
be about investing in someone to help in that department. So we'll see what that brings.
yeah.
but
So we're
it's
blowing a lot of dough in
that's
2026 is
right.
what we're
I know I don't
saying.
have a lot of financial goals, I will say that for sure, but but another thing I quickly wanted to say, because Lacey and I were talking about this, is I'm also doing a lot of like more intentional health things just because I feel like I have the capacity for it in the sense that all of last year I didn't do any testing. I didn't do any really protocols. I focused on like the habits and the foundations a lot, but I have like a GI map here. I've got a Dutch test. I've got my HTMA. I've got like the whole entire cell
Ooh.
core protocol. So I just got to do that. And that's probably where all my money will go. So
Yes. Oh my god, I'm excited.
I know. I'm excited to document it. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh my
But
god, I can't wait.
I know. So yeah, let's wrap it up there. I think you
Decide the
guys.
person you want to be and then do the things that that person would do, and all your dreams will come true.
Exactly.
That rhymed.
That did right. Okay, guys. Well, Happy New Year. Happy 2026. If you've listened to us this whole entire year, we appreciate you so much. Please continue to like our listen to our videos and watch our videos on YouTube and share it with your friends if you find it useful. It helps us so much more. And like we have said, we want this podcast to be something bigger than it is right now, but we're happy with where it's at. But the only way it can get bigger is if you guys share it with people that you love. So please do that and subscribe to our YouTube.
Make our dreams come true. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Wellness Effect. We're so grateful to be part of your wellness journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on Instagram. We'll put all of our handles in the show notes. If you have questions or ideas, slide into our DMs or send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep creating your own wellness effect.